Hi, coaches. Welcome back to Bigs Rule the World. I'm Coach Allen. I'm sitting here. I'm broadcasting you actually from my living room, watching some Saturday Night Football, and I want to sit down and get an episode cranked out while I had some time. I know I apologize for the sporadic nature of our episodes. I've told y'all before that teaching, the online teaching, is sort of messing with me when it comes to that. So that is my apology to you all. I'll hide this. I do have one exciting thing as we get ready to talk about. We're going to talk tonight about 3 tips for getting low on the offensive line, and I'm excited about it. Big announcement. Sign up for the Bigs Rule the World newsletter. Email bigsruletheworld@gmail.com today. We're set to launch once we hit 150 subscribers on YouTube. I think we're at 137 right now. So 13 more subscribers, guys. We'll all be set up to go. I don't want to date myself right now, but it's Saturday night, October 10th. I'm flipping around right now between the Ole Miss Alabama game. Actually, surprisingly, a very good game. Notre Dame and Florida State. I'm a big Notre Dame fan. And I think the dud of the night so far is Clemson, Miami. But, I don't know if anybody truly thought the U was back. I think if you're just a guy like me, you're rooting for upsets at this point. But the Big Rule of the World newsletter, some weekly tips, a drill of the week, and access to different courses and videos that are going to be newsletter specific. They're going to be just for you guys for subscribing to the newsletter. And we'll have a lot of free stuff and some paid stuff on there. But I'm excited to launch it. I love what we're doing here with Big Rule of the World. I'm loving just being an offensive line coach, man, and sharing that knowledge with you all. Okay, so we're getting back to 3 tips for getting low on the offensive line. I've seen this floated around before. Guys are wondering, how can I get my kids to stay low? All right, how can I get my kids to stay low? I think for a kid, naturally, they come out high out of their stance 9 times out of 10. So I have 3 little quick tips for you all offensive line coaches. Number 1, the use of the chute. Incorporate your EDD drills, your everyday drills, to a chute. Make one if necessary, guys. I know most of us grew up in the days I was used to a metal chute, a long metal chute that we're able to fire out. But I like doing a lot of my drills. Right now, I'm working with guys. We haven't incorporated the metal chute yet just because we're not in helmets. Once again, we're in Virginia where we don't have football. But you don't have to use a metal one. You can make one out of PVC. There's plenty of different good instructional videos on how to do that. But, I like to incorporate my everyday drills into a chute. We'll start out with our footwork drills within a chute. And the way I start my everyday drills, I'm going to do a video soon on everyday drills. We start out with footwork every day. So I get them in a stance, get them comfortable in a stance. Now, if you're putting them in a chute, that takes them, they have a bar over top of their head. They have to stay low or they're going to get hit. Okay, and then we're taking that 6-inch step, and I talked about a 6-inch power step. Our first step, we drill that first step over and over and over, guys. We break it down to the importance of that first step. We'll go over our 6-inch power step with our right foot. We'll do that a couple times. Then we'll go 6-inch power step with our left foot. Once again, we're taking one step. I'm used to the old school of bird dogging it almost, where we go all 3 steps with it, even. Okay? And then we'll do our zone steps because inside zone's a big part of our offense. And we'll do inside zone step with the right foot. Then we'll do inside zone step with the left foot. Okay, and you're doing those everyday drills. You're getting them low within the chute. Then you can bring your boards into play. I love using the boards. We've done brought the boards out now. And we're getting our feet going and firing off and firing off. Once we get past the first step, then we're going to where we're chopping wood, chopping feet for about 3 or 4 yards now. And now you have those chutes to fire out of. Okay, I'll even set up a guy with a bag. If I really want to get them running on the boards and working downhill, I'll get them set up on the chute. I'll put the boards at the end of the chute, and I'll have them fire out and attack a guy with a bag and have to drive him off the board, which is sticking out of the chute. So that way they're starting low and they're firing out before they get their hips into them. And I'll do some NOR video talking about the importance of your hips here. Okay, second one. Great drill for you, okay? I'm going to do a film clip just on this drill. I love it. It's one of my everyday drills that I love after we get past stance and start. It's a demeanor walk. So what we're going to do, my offensive linemen are going to get set up in their stance almost. We put them in a 2-point stance for this drill, but your big demeanor coaching points, your knees are bent. Your butt is low. I spelled butt wrong, just like an offensive line coach would. Your chest is up. You're getting a big chest to present your numbers right there. My knees are bent. My butt's low, like I'm taking a dump in the woods, guys. And I work on guys like that. And then I coach the feet of them. I want the weight on the inside part. I want the weight on my toes. Okay. And then the way we set up the drill is sort of in once again, I'm going to do a separate video just on this demeanor walk drill because it's so good. So what we'll do is we'll go 5 yards, boom, stepping it out. Fire out with your right foot. I call it a power walk. Okay, we got weight on the inside of our toes, our butt's low, our chest is up, and we're just power walking at a fast pace up to the first cone. Once we get to the first cone, then we're kick sliding. We're keeping our butt low. We're kick sliding for 5 yards to the right, okay? Our post leg is our left leg. Our kicked leg is our right leg. Boom, 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 boom. Then when I get to cone number 2, power stepping, firing out with that left foot first. Boom, 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 boom. And you want to hear it, guys, okay? I teach step over and over. You want to hear it. You want them to get a lot of steps. You don't want to take big overarching strides. It's a 6-inch step almost. Boom, 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 boom. But hear the weight of your offensive lineman when they're stepping in that ground. Firing off the inside of that toe, stepping in that ground. Okay, we're going to go 5 yards, boom, 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 boom. We're going to get to cone number 3 now, and now we're going to have to kick left, boom, 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 for 5 yards. Okay, we've done kicked right, where our left leg is our post foot, and our right leg is our kick. Now our right leg is our post foot, our left leg is our kick, boom, 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 boom. And then I hit cone number 4, and I'm just firing out right foot for 5 more yards to finish through. I'll get my lineman on a circuit doing that 2 to 3 times right after we do stance and start. And what it does, okay, the first couple days I was at this new school, first couple days I bring it anywhere. The kids complain, Coach, this hurts my legs. I have to walk like this. We're not duck walking them, guys. We're putting them in a stance that they play in. Okay, we're getting them low, but we're just getting them comfortable in it. If you only sit in that stance where you're able to play and you're able to dominate somebody for 3, 4, 5 seconds at a time, you're not going to get used to it. That demeanor walk is going to make them sit in it for about 30 seconds. And if you're not in good shape, when you sit in that and when you really fire out and put some weight into those steps, it's going to wear your ass out. And it also shows me who's dedicated and who's not. Who's in shape to be able to do this type of stuff. Okay, and we're just getting them comfortable. And that leads me to my third point, stretching and hip flexibility. Guys, think about a squat. When you get a young guy, I was a JV coach for a long time, and then I coach at small schools. So we work on guys with squatting all the time. I'll get guys who come in 300-some pounds, and they can't squat the bar. You know why? Because they're not used to being that low. They're not used to getting their big bodies. I had a kid who was like a 6'4" 8th grader, 350, 360 pounds when he comes in 8th grade. Big boy. Called him Big Show. He couldn't get parallel if he wanted to without a bar. So what do? We start getting him comfortable and getting his hips stretched out. We have him grab the rack and work his ass down to the ground. And just work on sitting in it and up and down, sitting in it, up and down, sitting in it. We work on the goblet squat. We work on everything to work on getting your ass slow and getting your hips flexible. Then we're going to work on the hip flexors, okay? We're going to stretch those out. We just over-exaggerate everything, guys. We over-exaggerate everything in our hip flexibility and stretching, especially early on, because when you get those guys flexible in their hips, they're able to stay low. They need to be flexible in their hips and flexible in their back. I think if you focus on that, that's a little bit of new science for some coaches, but the importance of stretching and hip flexibility, I think offensive linemen who have hip flexibility, who have the stretching ability, one of the things I've heard Division I offensive line coaches look for is an offensive lineman's ability to take their heels. Sorry about that, guys. We had a little issue there with Screencastify, but I was talking about an offensive lineman's ability to take their heels and have them touch the ground in a stance. So, when a kid isn't very necessarily flexible in his hips, his heels are going to ride up in his stance, and it's almost like a defensive line stance. And I don't like that as much because you're sort of falling forward when you fall off the ball. If we can get their hip flexibility where their heels can sit back on the ground, their back is flat. If we over-exaggerate that now, guys, especially early on in camp, then it's going to pay off for you during the season. That's one of the big things I'm about. So 3 big things: the use of a chute. If you need to go build one, okay? We're not using a chute right now because ours is metal, but you can get a PVC one built pretty cheaply. The Demeanor Walk, I'm going to have a video on that drill specifically coming up here shortly. It might be one of those newsletter things I got to see. But guys, if I got a drill I'm going to put my money on, it's going to be that drill. And then finally, stretching and hip flexibility. I'm telling you, when you get a guy's hips flexible, especially early on in their high school career, if we're talking about those types of guys, they're going to squat more. And when they squat more, they're going to be able to dominate a little bit more. And they're going to dominate and blowing guys off the ball, okay? Use of squatting is great for that. Get your guys in the weight room. Get them squatting if they're not. I hope there's no high school program in America that's not using the squat effectively. Guys, I'm excited. We're going to crank out some more videos. They might be short little nuggets like this, where it's 3 little tips. It might be me going over everyday drills. It might be me breaking something down more in depth. But I'm trying to get back on that regular schedule. I'm excited to keep delivering great content to you all. Hey, man, I'm excited just to be an offensive line coach right now. I'm having fun where I'm at. I'd never been just a varsity offensive I'd never been just a varsity position coach before, guys. I went from a JV assistant coach, JV coordinator, to a head varsity coach in a very weird scenario there. And then now I'm just a varsity offensive line coach, varsity assistant. And, I try to work every day to be the best offensive line coach in the state, and I'm motivated by that, and I work for a great offensive line coach in my head coach. So I'm having fun with it, and I'm coming up with new ideas every day of how to use drills and how to coach certain specific technique points. And that's what Big Drill the World really is about, guys, is giving you, the young offensive line coaches, the old offensive line coaches, the brand spanking new, our 30-year vets, something new in your toolbox to be able to use. So I hope you got something out of it. Remember, we want to score points if we want to win games. And if we do that, we have to know to dominate in the trench, have the ability to dominate in the trenches, and to do that, we have to know that bigs rule the world. I'll see you next time, coaches. Remember, send this to your friends. Make sure to pop that subscribe button. Let's get to 150 subscribers, and let's get that newsletter cranking out. I'll see you next time.